I recently attended the 4th AfriCaribbean Trade and Investment Forum here in Grenada. Previous conferences were held in Barbados, Guyana, and the Bahamas. But this was Grenada's first time hosting. Grenada has deep historical ties with Africa. Between 1979 and 1983, during the height of the South African anti-apartheid struggle, we welcomed African Presidents Kenneth Kaunda of Zambia and Samora Machel of Mozambique. In fact, during the period 1979 to 1983, several leading members of the ANC, including former South African President Thabo Mbeki, traveled on Grenadian passports given to them by the government of Grenada, led by Maurice Bishop. Having been denied South African passports, they were unable to travel. Grenada was among the very first Caribbean countries to ever host sitting African heads of state. We showed early leadership in Africa-Caribbean relations. When I was foreign minister, I championed policies to engage Africa. I made contacts that connected trade, culture, economics, and tourism. These relationships are more crucial now than ever. The ACTIF conference saw some concrete outcomes. There was endorsement for an African-Caribbean free trade agreement that should remove tariffs on our exports. There are commitments for direct air and maritime links, new flight routes and shipping connections. Afreximbank announced SME development support that local businesses can access. They're working on eliminating visa restrictions, and it was reported that there's a $250 million hospital commitment. Afrexim will co-finance the government's recently announced tertiary hospital project with Mount Sinai as part of the Hopevale Medical City. The conference was well attended by Caribbean officials from around the region, along with other dignitaries. It was encouraging to see so many Grenadian businessmen and women represented, from farmers and fishermen to financial and insurance sectors. The two-day conference undoubtedly yielded economic benefits for Grenada, but we eagerly await the implementation. When do these agreements get implemented? When do the new flight routes start? When will our farmers actually access African markets? It's good to see the Caribbean working together on this. I've been advocating for Africa engagement for years, but we need to measure outcomes. First, we acknowledge that these partnerships have potential. Then, we look for concrete timelines and transparent reporting. Finally, we work together to turn conferences into real opportunities for Grenadian families, because good intentions don't pay bills or create jobs.